All right, everybody, welcome back to Dodgeball Toronto's Kickoff 2025 tournament. Terry Thrasher here with JP Nuyens. Hello.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Fresh off the, well, maybe not fresh off the court anymore, but we saw Fury out here not too long ago.
I think I'm a long way from being fresh at anything at this point. It's old and creaky is what I'm going for right now.
Yeah, and you pull it off.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a close match between you and Riptide.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah.
Did I ever?
I mean, it took like 4 matches, the last 4 matches, for me to finally figure out my accuracy. So it was nice to get a couple of hits, and you know, they're a really hard team, and we love playing against them. And the honesty between both teams is just phenomenal. So always a fun time.
There was a stretch where, like, when Riptide was on the side that's near to us from here, I think like 3 of their players in a row just calling themselves off on things that I didn't see or hear.
For sure.
And I'm just like, yeah, that's how you know they're really, really good
100%.
Sports. They're super close.
I told him too, like Matt Derry. I told him, like, I threw a shot that went over his shoulder, and I was playing like it missed, and I would believe it if he didn't take his out, but then he did take it, and I was like, yeah, that's really honest of him. And I got a couple of those where I was like, I can't tell if that hit him.
Yeah.
So.
And you don't want to be like those cranky rec league people who are pointing at you.
We are thankfully not a pointy team, so we don't get into that business. Yeah. It's like we're coached by Lynn Kirkpatrick, long-standing dodgeball player. She keeps us grounded, and she says, like, if whatever happens, as soon as the ball's out of your hand, you can't do anything about it. Just move on. It doesn't help to dwell on any of the negativity.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. The refs are going to call stuff, and you just have to live with it. That's just the name of the game.
Yeah, and once you get into, obviously, like, higher level competitive stuff, like that mindset becomes an ongoing concern. You want to work on it all the time. I think every team has kind of its character as a team. Yeah. And I do feel like Fury as a team doesn't seem to get rattled very easily these days. It seems fairly steady overall.
But in a way, like, we've been rattled recently because we've changed our play style, and then it sort of like took away from what we normally do. So we're trying to rein it in for this tournament and play a smarter game. But literally, like, if someone's going to complain about something on the other side, as soon as they're done, I say, that's good, shut it down, we don't talk about that again, and then we move on from that. Because if they bring it up again and they're still pointing, it's like you're not listening, you're making yourself a worse player, and you start losing energy from the negative energy yourself.
I don't know if I can think of anyone who's a better player when they're doing those things. So
true, yeah. Like, there's so many times where, like, I think that hit him, but even if I vocalize it, it's gone. Like, I'm not thinking about that next time because then you get in your head.
But getting into the court in front of us, we've got Kaffeine and Co., who we have seen on this stream, I think 2 matches ago, facing off against Coastal.
They're actually from a couple of coasts.
Yeah.
They got Riel, Leaf, I believe. Yeah. And she's
She's
West
wearing
Coast.
The Fury jersey right now, though. Representing Will Andrusic for some reason.
Yeah. Kaffeine and Co., very veteran team. Been doing work at provincials the last and nationals the last couple of years, so they're up and coming. They've been training really well.
Yeah, and they've got some national team caliber players on that squad too.
Cassandra, far right corner. Oh, I guess on the screen's far left corner for Kaffeine and Co. Phenomenal arm, always going to be priority target. And they kind of lean on her. She throws a lot. Yeah. She didn't throw there, but good take by Finley. Hannah Finley. Good job, Hannah.
Well, one of the things I noticed in the last match with Cassandra Carré-Jaudoin was, like, even when she needs to release quickly, she still actually gets a lot of her body into the throws.
And she's throwing.
Yep.
She did. Yeah, she puts a lot on that. And probably got one of the hardest ladies throws in Canada.
Yeah, it looks great as she releases it.
Yeah. she does open herself up when she throws, but her team is very good at covering her. That's a nice pop-up catch.
Mira Duarte able to find that.
Mira just finds a way to just be a part of every play. She's just so much energy, and she just, she's always going to make the hustle plays, and that's what you like to see as a team.
Her movement on the court is really good.
Yeah.
She's always light on her feet, always ready to get to where the play needs to be.
Yeah, for sure. And she's got a great motor, so she doesn't seem to get tired and always pushing the pace. Cassandra throws.
Yeah, as we say, those bigger windups can open up a player, but even for a fairly big windup, she does have the motion pretty quick, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't rotate her body so much that she's out of position after she throws, but it is quite a long windup to get to that point that you would think maybe she'd be open to being countered, but doesn't really happen a lot.
And then if you're playing against a player like that, I find sometimes you can think, okay, this is a window that I can hit them, but if they're good at keeping that window small.
Yeah.
A
double throw.
Wilson and Jodoin's balls hitting each other in the air.
Rarely see that when there's three balls thrown at different targets.
Yep.
Which sometimes you need to switch it up.
Nice catch by Wilson.
Great catch.
She's made a couple of those that I've seen and just looks. I love the casual look after you make a catch.
Yeah. Act like you've been there. She's a former Armada player, right?
Yep.
Avonlea.
That's when I first saw Leanne Wilson. It was when she was representing PEI.
Yeah.
My understanding, I don't know which part of Quebec she's in now, but she is there. Has been for 2-ish years, maybe 3 now.
Yeah, that was a big pickup for Caffeine & Co. She's a veteran player, knows what she's doing. Mira, great on the rush, wins that. And then I don't know her name. She's really good. Number 2, the redhead on Caffeine. Well, she just got hit, but her throws are great. I played against them. We did like a Quebec mini tournament. I was on a men's team, and we were playing a couple of men's teams and women's teams, and she lit me up.
Yeah, I think I didn't get a great look, but I think that is Ashley Boissonneau. But I agree, she's shown really good, just a sense of when to take shots.
And see, we just saw right there 2 balls going at Mira, and she just deftly dodges both of them. If you're on coastals, you maybe don't throw those at her because you're just wasting shots. Hopefully they make that adjustment, because once you start missing on someone that's a big dodger, you want to change it up, and they do. And they go for the right corner.
Yeah, and I think if you're confident enough in the throws, that's when you can stagger the timing, hope to get one of those big moves out of her, and then have to follow up throw, take her out.
Yeah.
But even then, she's so good on her feet that it's not like that's an easy thing to do.
No, for sure. And Coastal's here being down on players, interestingly enough, throwing 2 balls often, not a great strategy to continue throughout the match, so hopefully they can switch that up as well, especially when the other team had a full squad. Now it's different because there's only 3, but now there's 4 because that happened. Maybe they should have thrown 2. What do I know?
Yeah, Caffeine & Co. with a couple of clutch catches so far. Oh, almost
so
another.
Close.
But Amy McNeil, also one of those just fixtures of dodgeball.
Oh, for sure. Always been around, always high level dodgeball from her. Cassandra,
wow, great throw.
Just lit her up.
McNeil, I think was Team Maple Leaf back in
2017.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's right. Those are fun times.
Yeah, that was the first Worlds I attended. It was in this building. And now Dodgeball Toronto has been able to have multiple tournaments in this venue. One of my favorite venues that I've ever played in or otherwise been at a tournament for.
Oh, it's always a great time here. Great facilities.
Oh, that
2
third ball
great
just stuck
blocks. Kept her composure. And it didn't really look accidental. Like, she squeezed on that. She actually got that.
You have to be good to be lucky. I feel like there is a little bit of luck when those balls come in, but like you said, she was in the exact right position for it to happen.
Yeah, and she didn't do a lot of movement. She just stayed steady, kept her hit box really small, made a couple blocks. Nice dodge there by Tiffany Wong, I believe.
Yeah, that is another high-level player from the East Coast. Oh, can't squeeze it though.
I don't mind that, going for it. She's a big-time player. She can make those catches.
Yeah.
It was a 1v1, I guess, unless it was 2 left on. But
I think that was the the final ones on each side. So
I think they played that really well. A little bit sort of impatient on some of their throws, but you know they're finding their targets.
Yeah, if you feel like you're rushing those throws, like as long as you're getting on the target that you mean to, it's pretty justifiable. Oh, Card not able to squeeze that one.
Yeah. And then it's the first time I think we see Kaffeine Biron, the captain. She doesn't have a ball right now, but she almost got hit there. Nice dodges, good throws.
Yeah. So Benros taken out. Biron not able to get that one ball as it rolls back, but Duarte able to pop up and get a hit. Finley sent off to the side.
And Karin is a great thrower, but also like very composed. She never seems to get rattled, and she can make great catches too. And she doesn't reach. She lets it come to her, and she makes those catches. So she's a good captain for this team. She keeps them composed.
Yeah, my first time really appreciating her game was in Cancun at Worlds, where she bailed out the national team a few times with just that composed type of play. Was that a catch?
That was a catch.
Wow.
She almost dropped it,
Yeah.
but it was a nice catch.
Yeah, Kaffeine & Co. in great position to take a 3-0 lead here.
Yeah, this is a tough hill to climb here if you're Coastals. Sometimes catches seem to come in bunches. Mira maybe getting a little greedy there.
I mean,
Thinking she could.
hits come in bunches if you come up that close.
True. But Mira trusting in her ability, in her athleticism, trusting in her ability to get out of the way. Maybe a little too overconfident. Ooh, and the shank of the ball retriever accidentally makes a goof.
Yeah, there are rules for what they do and don't do. And okay, Kaffeine & Co. closes it out. Some good pressure from the corners. Co-captain Galliini, I think it was her shot taking her out.
Laurie Jobin-Ross, Team Canada member from last year, also one of the hardest throws in Canada for ladies. So it's they've got a lot of firepower on that team.
Yeah, and I think they have just looked better and better every time I've seen them as a team.
Yeah.
So.
And it seems Kaffeine & Co. is getting the better of these rushes, so they're pretty much taking out one person per. Good pressure by Laurie after that throw to make space for her team. Mira probably going to throw here. She does.
You know, it's interesting when you feel like you get enough of a read on a team to see as they're coming up who's going to let it go.
Yeah. And sometimes you can tell based on who's been throwing. If somebody hasn't been throwing, they tend to call their own number if they're in the middle, especially.
Yeah, a little bit of the psychology stuff that you can get into. Great fakes from Leaf.
Great fakes by Leaf, and good job getting out of the way right there. Like to see it. McNeil maybe a little greedy fingers on that. A little bit of a reach, but great throw by Kaffeine & Co. as well. Great throws.
Wong's ball finds the mark.
I feel like they should get Riel throwing here. She did take that one counter, but yeah, there you go. Tough target here. Yeah. Laurie's got great defense, great offense. Good throw by Mira. Almost gets taken out by Riel.
That had some nice curve like that.
True.
Looked like it was trying to bend toward her ankles. But
like inside out. kind of curve on it.
That's the curve I have the hardest time throwing, personally.
There's a couple of people that seem to do it just like effortlessly. Riel's wearing an Andrusic jersey, and he just seems to just get that inside out curve like so well. And it always messes me up because I dodge in a particular direction, and then he hits me as it's curving the other way.
Jobin Haas got like a great graze on Wong, who looked just a bit off balance for it.
Good honesty. And 1v2 here.
Okay.
Great block with a split dodge.
And gets Leaf and takes them all out. Jobin Haas coming in clutch.
I was gonna say it's about a 50-50 with Laurie Jobin Ross. She plays it so smart, and when she sees an opening, and she's really good at dodging. Like, her defense is great too. When she sees an opening and she takes it, she's so deadly.
Yeah, we saw her full skill set on display at that point.
Sure.
She was out, I think, 1-on-3, and even when she had a teammate still on the back line with her, she's a great teammate herself. But we go right into no blocking. 4-0 for Kaffeine.
Do we do the thing where we talk about rules every time, or we just assume people know don't block in no blocking?
I feel like no blocking is a pretty straightforward one.
It's in the name. Looked like a hit there, so 6v5 now.
Oh, Wilson, great concentration to get that and then take a shot.
Good awareness by Wilson there to not only make that catch, but to notice that Riel was a little up high on there and took that shot. McNeil going for a catch.
And that was Wilson's throw, just coming right in on her knee as she went low. So
yeah.
What I like too, Leanne Wilson waited to celebrate her really good catch until it was actually a good moment. So.
And she just got another hit.
Yeah,
so
huge point from her.
Wilson, the MVP of that point, at least. They've had a lot of their ladies have had moments like they're spreading it out. It's not just one person carrying this team, and that's what you want to see. You know, this is, I don't know when the Quebec provincials are, but I'm assuming ramping up for provincials, and that's the kind of momentum you want to see going into provincials.
Yeah, and if this is the lineup that they are bringing to that tournament, I mean, you got to think they're going to be a favorite to emerge from Quebec.
I didn't know Mira was in Quebec. I don't know if that's a recent move, but for some reason I thought she was Winnipeg.
That was my understanding when we were in Austria, but yeah, I think Kevin was saying he thinks she may have moved.
Okay.
I don't know,
but it's also a big pickup for them. Even if she was making some hits, but even if she's not, she's. You know, some of the things she doesn't show up on the stat sheets unless you count dodges, because she's got those, a lot of it.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to figure out when I don't have a ball, like what should I do, she is one of those players you can watch to get a good idea of what you could do.
Yeah, and we played against her on our co-ed team, and my team was literally telling me to avoid her because she does essentially what I do on my teams, and then she baited me into a couple of throws, and as soon as I missed, they're like, we said don't do it, and I'm like, I know, but it's tempting, it's there, and then all of a sudden she's not there anymore. So
I think it's a really good feeling when your teammates are like, I told you so.
Yeah. But I acknowledge it. I'm like, I know. Ego probably took over for a second there. That's usually the answer.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, I obviously get baited into those too sometimes. Sometimes you think, like, I do have a good shot here. I can't just not take these like all the time.
Just like anything in dodgeball, you need to take some chances, and you need to switch it up. You can't always just be doing the same thing. You need to be unpredictable in everything: dodging, throwing, target selection. Other than blocking, you don't change your technique on that.
True.
Just always go for a good block, not a weird, fancy one-handed block.
And a card sends one in, and then a return shot toward Wong. So one thing I notice about Jobin Ross's throw is it seems like a little bit of an unorthodox motion too. Like Cassandra Paris-Jodoin we've called out as having a great throw. Leaf as well. Very conventional motions. Comes out really well.
Yeah.
That's almost like you could watch that in slow motion for tips on how to throw. Lori's
a bit of a whip.
Yeah, it's a little different. It comes out almost sideways from her body more a lot of the time, but super effective, obviously.
Like a cool whip. See if she throws here. Good fake by Kaffeine and Co. I had no idea who was throwing there.
Yeah, I really respect when teams and players, but like when a whole team has a good way of disguising where it's coming from like that.
Riel throws.
So hard to play against.
I take it back. I think Riel has the hardest throw for ladies. It's probably pretty close. We don't have a speed gun out here, but she's taken after also for her brother, Zion, also one of the hardest throws in Canada. I don't know what they're feeding them out there, but
yeah, both of them have that kind of lanky build that they're really able to get a lot of whip onto those.
Yeah, you can get a lot of power out of long arms, like we just saw right there. But Lori sussed that out, knew it was coming her way, and went defensive.
Yeah, able to get Leaf off the court. Card's going to take over that corner.
Yeah, and that was a big out for them because, like, Leaf is just, you don't want to be facing against her. As soon as you put her on the sidelines, makes your job a little easier. That being said, they just lost another one, so a 2v3 for Kaffeine and Co. They're still in this, Coastals.
Wilson again showing that confidence, kind of like slight intentional juggling of the ball as she ran up to take the shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, she put her head down and still made that block, but sometimes when you get hits beget other hits. You feel like you're on fire, and you start taking more chances, and you might as well. And she got some catches too, so she's probably brimming with confidence right now.
Exactly. Her play has earned that confidence so far. Joveras taken out.
A very rare sort of defensive lapse. I think she was kind of turning her body all the way and didn't square up for the block. Nice blocks by Wilson, even though she's putting her head down. You don't like to see it, but good idea there, throwing a ball to try and self-clear.
Yeah, keep that ball on her side.
It's sort
Players are allowed to do that.
Yeah,
retrievers are not.
Not retrievers. Good blocks.
Keeping her head up this time.
Yeah, true. That's the thing I tell people. I get hit in the open eye a lot. And I tell people all the time, you got to keep your eyes up and you got to keep your eyes open. If you close your eyes or you duck your head, you're not going to be able to see a second shot coming in, and all you're doing is hoping that they miss you or throw it into your ball.
Yeah, and I think if you're small enough to get behind a ball, that's a good play. That's one thing, but a lot of us aren't.
I think she has a tendency to put her head down when the ball's going over her head. And, that could just be to avoid getting a drop shotted in the head.
Yep.
Probably going to throw two at her.
And they do, and they get her.
Yeah. Really smart, confident, and poised plays there by Coastal. They didn't get rattled. They lost Riel early, but they just stuck with it and take their hits.
Yeah, I mean, they're not people who play together all the time, but they've got a lot of talent on that side, obviously.
Very true.
With Tiffany Wong, we haven't mentioned that she's also was on the national program last year.
Oh, that's right.
And just obviously a lot of veterans. And I think a lot of, half the team has played with each other a fair bit, just depending on which coast you're looking at.
Great fake there by Riel, drawing a lot of attention.
Coastal looking into the middle.
Decent throw there by Coastal. Unfortunate for them they didn't hit one, but looked good. Paris Jodoin.
Yeah, if you miss, as long as you don't miss by much, it can feel okay.
You can tell when she's throwing because she loads up her fakes or her wind up, because it just comes back, pauses for half a second, and then comes forward. And see, on her fakes, it's just waving.
Yeah.
As soon as she loads, I tell that to people all the time. If you're gonna, sometimes I'll fake and load as well, just so that they don't get used to how I fake. It looked like a bounce, but then she stepped out of bounds anyways.
Yeah, I couldn't tell for sure, but yeah. And yes, I think sometimes if I watch myself back in a match and I can be embarrassed by how I'm faking, then I'm a little disappointed in myself.
It's not easy. People just take it for granted.
Nice catch.
That was a great catch.
Yeah, she was able to
Ashley.
she was backpedaling a little bit, but just stayed square.
Yeah, she's got great throws, and clearly she can make those catches.
This Kaffeine & Co. team is very deep.
But you got two veterans on the other side, Wong and McNeil. Very strong players. They're probably going to look to whittle this down.
Yeah, let's see how they play it. I would imagine they're going to stay a little bit defensive toward the back. Although, yeah, taking those counters. Two of them.
If you see it, you got to know if you're Kaffeine & Co., the other team is down, they might get more desperate and start taking those shots, and that's exactly what happened there.
Oh, Boissonneau reacting really well. She anticipated it, like you said, and then got the return shot onto Wong for a good clean out.
But good on Boissonneau. That was a great throw. Like, she's got a lot of power, good accuracy, and good honesty there by McNeil.
Yeah, Kaffeine & Co. able to get through the blockers there and give themselves a 6-1 edge with 5 minutes to go. So I think this match result is pretty certain.
In the bag, there's 5 minutes left? I mean, 1 point per minute. Anything's possible, but
it's doable.
Less likely.
But as we say in these tournament matches, the plus-minus matters for standings, and it's a long event. You want your team to feel like you're executing well, you're still playing well. There's a lot of reason to keep playing together as well as you can. Ooh, good shot coverage.
Great take by Mira, seeing that pressure there by McNeil. She takes one step. Mira didn't back off. 2 balls going in on Laurie Jobin-Ross. Probably smart. You got to put a couple on her. She's probably going to catch if you don't.
Yeah, they send her off to the side. There's another
Speaking
catch.
of catches, Karine Biron.
Kaffeine & Co., that's one of the big differences in this match. They've just got more. Oh, Jobin-Ross off immediately again.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll make another catch and bring her back.
At least she's laughing about it.
Yeah. You can see on Karine's face, she's just stone cold.
Yeah, I think composed was the word used earlier, and I think that's a great word for it. Oh, there's a great follow-up from Mira Duarte.
Second follow-up there by Mira. She's finding a lot of success with that. The Coastal's getting a little complacent after one throw comes their way, and either that one was they're not putting on pressure, and the last one they were putting on pressure, and Mira took her out for it.
Yeah, we can definitely see that she's looking for those openings.
True. Of
any sort.
Yeah. And yeah, there's multiple types of openings. If they're not paying attention or if they're being too aggressive. You got the body count here. You can stand to take more chances, like they just threw 3 balls there. They only have 2 players. They can't, if they have 5 balls, they can't throw more than 2, so.
Yeah, that's one of the, ooh.
Throw 2 singles, and they do hit one.
Giel heads off to the sideline. Yeah, that's one of those lessons try to impart to some players who are newer to competitive play is you can give the other team more balls if they don't have enough arms to actually throw them sometimes.
If they have less than 4 players, give them 4 balls. It's a decent strategy, putting 2 on them. Good job getting her legs out of the way. Wilson again.
She looks fairly effortless out there in the court sometimes. Okay, there's a hit. Coastal trying to get a little bit of momentum for themselves late in this match.
Yeah, they're making it close now. It was 2v4 5 or 6 at one point. Good throw by Wilson, but better block. Let's see if they throw 2 here. They do, but at different targets. And Kaffeine, steady as she goes, tells the team, hold up, let's reset.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 right on the same target.
Yeah, see, that makes more sense. If you're going to throw 2, you might as well throw at the same target.
Okay, Card taking the safe shot from about 1/3 of the way up. Now coming a bit closer.
And good patience here by Kaffeine and Co. They don't need to push this.
Yeah. Okay, so good defense by everybody involved. Oh no, Wilson.
I thought it was
there.
a good block, but
Yeah.
good honesty for her. Mira not paying attention there.
Card hit. Ariana Card has a nice kind of a flick, so her shot comes in with a lot of curve, even though she hasn't stepped into the throw all the way.
Who?
But Card.
Card.
She's rocking a Martin Dutil jersey. I believe,
I
but-
see. I was like, she doesn't look like a Dutil.
Well, we have a little over 40 seconds to go, so they will start this with the normal rules, and we're going to quickly get into the no blocking rules.
Mira again winning the rush. Not much you can do against that when one team has a much faster rush. Beating them by a couple of steps there every time.
Yeah, that's good rush play. Jordan Haas taking out.
Card taking a hit and then another hit. It's now 5v4. Good fakes once again by Riel.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to read what she's doing. Great job disguising the actual throws or just the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep them guessing. They don't ask her to throw a lot, though. And I don't know if that's just because, just by randomness, you just picking a side all the time.
Oh, McNeil reaching a bit for that, trying to force it, I think.
Great movement there by Riel, throwing and then just throwing her body out of the way.
Nice lateral motion, and
Yeah.
we are going to get to the no blocking here.
3v2.
It is 7-1 on the match scoreboard. So obviously, Coastal is going to go down in terms of match result, but again, they might be able to finish strong here. Okay,
Oh.
Wilson grazed, I think.
Thought she had that dodge, but once again, good honesty.
Woo. Yeah, some close calls, and it's like Leaf taken out this time. There's a catch.
Beatrice Fortier, great catch. Good throws. Just missing. So 2 balls for Kaffeine and Co. It's going to be on Coastals to throw here, at least one.
Forte's done a lot and finishes it off too. Kaffeine and Co. bringing that one back from a tough position, but it's a good result for them, 8-1.
The most games were pretty like the score doesn't really indicate how close most of those points were. So both teams played really well. Good display of athleticism and sportsmanship here at the end. Everybody's friends once it's over.
Yeah, as we were saying, there's a lot of talent on both sides. Kaffeine and Co. really great team play, though. I feel like they really know what kind of pressure they want to put on the other team.
For sure.
They're very in sync when they do it. And like you said, a lot of the points felt pretty close, but that was a decisive win.
Yeah, you gotta feel pretty good if you're Kaffeine and Co. That's a strong team and a good score to come away with. So they're gonna bring that confidence into their next match.
Yeah, and our next match coming up on this court.
Looks like pitch perfect.
Nope.
Well,
They're
they
walking
might
by,
be- They're.
We've got Rack Attack and Whisker.
Ooh.
Will be showing up. My
Oh,
first
the
time in this tournament.
whiskers. Oh, I might want to stick around for that if you'll have me.
Well, you're welcome to. Just like the viewers, we hope you'll be back for this next match here at Dodgeball Toronto's Kickoff 2025 tournament.